I'm sports editor Mike Sherman here with Mike Gundy. Mike, we go way back. I mean, way back to where, I had almost as much hair in those days as you have now. How come you kept it and I didn't?
I'm not for sure, other than mine stands straight up and yours didn't. You had a head of hair, but it didn't stand straight up. But we do go way back. You know, it's been 24 years now, at least, since 85, 84. A long time to be in the state and associated with sports.
And I know, Mike, that I was there at Lewis Field when you threw an interception that a Muskogee guy ran back for a touchdown, and everybody thought, oh, here we go again. Midwest City's lost another game. People don't remember, really, that at that time, Midwest City had a reputation that can't win the big one. That changed it a lot.
Well, we had that reputation. You know, we hadn't won the state championship since 1960, and my mom was in school then. And being an old Bomber, you know, there was a lot of pressure. You know, we talk about pressure to so-called get the monkey off our back, and even for Coach Evans, who had been to the state finals 3 or 4 times prior to that and had not won. And so we were able to win it 25 years later in 85, and it was tremendous for the community, and since then they won a bunch.
Mike, I also remember that interception, a flat pass, and you chased him all the way into the end zone. I mean, it was clear that the guy was going to score a touchdown. I think his name was Harold Aldridge. Is that right?
That's right, Harold Aldridge.
Anyway, you guys get the ball back and march down almost like a 90-yard drive. A couple things. One is, do you think that changed things? How much do you think that changed things for Midwest City, and how much do you think it changed it for you personally?
Well, there's no question it was a huge moment. I know for Midwest City because since then they've won 4 or 5 more state championships. Me personally, I think it may have given me a reputation as a guy to find a way to win from that point on. You know, and you don't talk about it much, but you know, you got to call it like it is. That's probably what happened, and so gave me a chance to get a scholarship at Oklahoma State and continue on with my career. And I was fortunate enough to become a coach and be back at Oklahoma State.
Now, I remember I was working the sidelines that day, writing a sidebar, and Mac Bentley was writing the game story, and I remember walking up to you, and you were saying Dan Marino. Do you remember that?
Oh, yeah. No, he was my favorite quarterback. You know, I've always liked Dan because at that time I thought I was a drop-back quarterback, and I didn't know I was a scrambler. Should have been Fran Tarkington. But I remember Dan Marino and always been a Dolphin fan and a Marino fan from that point on.
Mike, was Oklahoma State interested you at that point? A lot of it seemed like you were going to go to OU.
Well, at first I was going to OU. You know, I'd grown up right down the road and had committed to Oklahoma, and then sat down, got to thinking about it, and at that year, you know, they'd won a national championship. Jamel Holloway was a quarterback, was a true freshman. So, you know, I wasn't the smartest guy in the world, but I didn't figure that it'd be real easy to beat a guy out that was a true freshman quarterback when they won a national championship. So, had visited Oklahoma State and loved the place and really enjoyed Coach Jones and the staff and ended up going there.
That's all for now. We're back at the Big 12 Media Days. This is Mike Sherman with Mike Gundy.